Good morning, friends. It's Nancy, and I'm here to show you a flip through of this journal I just completed. She's a monster. 10, I was going to say 10, but it's probably more than 10. Yeah, 10.5 by 7 3/4, and the spine is 2.5 inches. I have used lots of unique lace throughout this journal, lots of shabby chic kind of thing, pops of color here and there, but largely this is going to be a writing journal, a place to keep mementos and ephemera from events and things. At least that's the way I would use it. So the book itself is from 1901, the year that Queen Victoria died, and here she is up here in gold. Little etching of Windsor Castle here. Let's get started. It is a hidden hollow back spine. There's 12 signatures in there, and I should grab something to use as a tag. There's a piece of paper I can use. Because there's tuck spots in here that don't necessarily have anything in them. Alright, so here's the first page. Both the front and the back cover are covered in this fabric. I love to do inside covers with fabric. I spent some time fussy cutting this image from a book called Queen Victoria's Sketchbook, I think. I was trying to look around to see if I see it handy, but it's not. This is the original title page, and I've used this teeny tiny lace to make a frame around it. Here we have this is a paper from a discarded book from a public library, and this is a fussy cut from a book. This flips open, and I made this little pocket here. Of course, you can journal on that pocket. And I just tucked this book page in here, added a little tissue there. Some beautiful antique lace on this page edge. Here I have a book from a very old German nature book. And this is a magazine cover from 1882. I've backed it with some paper so that it would stand up to use. Here I have a flip up. This is a title page from a book about Queen Victoria. Inside there is an envelope that I tea stained, and this little fussy cut from a book. And I did some texture paste on that page. I feel like I did texture paste on this page, but I didn't. No, crazy girl. An old music book. Open it up. This is a little tuck spot made from a window envelope, so I've done some collage on there. A little journal card. This is an illustration from the original book. You saw me make this. This page is from an old notebook. You can see the foxing on it, and it was about electronics. So this is a ASV transmitter. So you can tuck something in there, in the like underneath or in the envelope itself. The envelope is from 1945, and here I did a little collage and made this little flip up of various papers. Some vintage lace. This is from a cover of music, some sheet music. I did a little bit of gesso here so that you could write on it if you like. This is a genuine postcard from 1897, the year of the Diamond Jubilee. And that's King Edward VII, so her son. That was his regal name. Over here is a little map from an antique book. This is an image from a German book. I've stitched some fabric on here and stitched the fabric to the page. Added this little collage tab. And I went with oranges because of the peachy orange color in the photo, or not photo, illustration. That opens up. This is a page for some writing, and I used some old tape to hold it down. This is from a very old, I want to say it's the 1890s. So it was a yearbook, or was it an almanac? It might have been an almanac. So this is glued down. You can tuck something behind it, but I also used an old paper clip just to clip that scrap of letterhead. This is the window that I made with lace. A little bit of stencil there. There's some old eyelet. This is a page from Henry Terry's Victorian flower album. And there's another piece of old paper there. This is from some kind of a journal. It says shareholders. A little bit of texture paste. On the back here, this is a piece of stationery. It has these old hats on it. This is from a 1877 magazine. So from the Golden Jubilee. This is from a gardening journal. Opened it up. So there's a little lacy pocket tuck. So there's a tea-stained memoranda. And I've got this envelope here from 1939. Get in there. This is a page from an old nature book. I made this little collage with some cardboard and some handwriting fabric. This little velvet flower here is from a wedding bouquet, actually. There's the back of that. Moths and Butterflies of Britain, I think the title of the book was. Some more lace here, and you can use that as a tuck spot. This is a journaling card, so I did some collage and layering, added a little bit of lace. You can tuck something in there. A rusty old safety pin, and you can journal on the back. This is an advertisement from an old magazine from the 1890s, and inside I've just tucked this tag that I made. You can put stuff in there if you so desire. Inside the lace belly band. Yeah. Here is an image of Her Majesty, and you can tuck something behind her. This is a label from port wine, and it's called Diamond Jubilee. And it just flips open, it has some tea-dyed paper there. This is from an 1877 magazine. So there's Queen Victoria there. And here she is, I think she's knighting someone. Some hand crocheted lace. This is from a book, a French book, The Princess of Cleves. And I added this journaling spot from an antique envelope, and a tariff stamp, a tax stamp from a bottle of liquor. This is from a book about flowers. I was going to say wildflowers, but I'm not sure it's wildflowers. And here's a little journaling spot there. This is the cover of a seed catalog from 1893. So I made a pocket on this side and added this little tuck. So did a little collage on that side. This is an old envelope and another old envelope with a red stamp. I thought the colors went together really well. I added some gold wax to give it a little bit of glitz. This is just a collage. I think this came from a greeting card, but no, it was a book page. But I've layered it on some music page and some dictionary. This is an old greeting card. I made a pocket from that, and here's another collage tag with some ledger and paper doily and embossed paper. This is from a little, probably like an address book or something. It has a V on it. I just added this little pink floral collage. This is from a very old book about forget-me-nots. So it has some poetry. Some very old eyelet lace. And there's Her Majesty. I've just tucked this tag, and it's also a pocket. You can put a hidden something in there if you like. This is a silk ribbon that I got who knows where. Can't remember. So I've glued it down to make a little tuck spot. This is from a book about Ireland. I just added these watercolor swatches. And on this side, this is a repurposed window envelope, and inside it is a collage tag. And I embossed this. Turned out nice. That's some old crocheted lace. This is like an expense document, but it's also a legal document from 1870. 8th day of November 1870. 155 years old. This envelope, I made this into a pocket, a little bit of vintage crocheted lace, an old vintage button, and I've just added some an offcut of ledger page on the back for journaling. I was going to say, I think I left this open for a tuck spot as well. Here's a big pocket from an old invoice. I have some piano roll paper. Made a little collage with some antique and vintage lace here. This is hand crocheted. This I tore out of an encyclopedia, the British Royal State Coach. And it talks about Queen Victoria there. And this side, I used some blue vellum and an applique, a lace applique that I thrifted. And I just have two very tall tags. This is a label, and I put some tea-dyed paper on this one. This is actually knitted lace. Can you imagine knitting that? This is a page from a book about professional guilds in London. This is a post office deposit slip from who knows when. This is for calculating wages for workers. So you would have your employee's name and what hours they worked. No, it's not a tuck spot. It's just a journaling spot. Here's some old paper. Can be used for journaling. Here's the other window I made using tea bag. And so I've got some dried flowers in there, some vintage lace. Again, some vintage lace. And I have pansies, and I'm going to call these daisies, so I just added these little tags. This is a corner tuck. It goes back and forth. It has a sort of a flat lay of different blue items. And here's a little journaling spot. I used some old legal documents, fussy cuts, some aged tape. This is from a turn-of-the-century book, Students of French. So there's I love this illustration. I needed to get that in here. Old notebook paper. This little envelope is also using the Henry Terry flower album. And it just opens up and you can tuck something in this. I think this was from a cereal, a bag that, you know, comes in cereal box. I use this little Timmy clip here, hold it on. There she is with her dolls. More vintage lace. This, it says Military Photo Division, C.P. Clark Incorporated, Nashville, Tennessee. So this is a very old glassine bag. And I've just put this journaling card in. Again, this ledger flips down, and I've done some collage with a book page image. Another journal card. And here I just used a half a sheet of paper from a guest book, vintage guest book. This is a faux postcard, and I stitched on this old safety pin, some velvet ribbon, and lots of lace. That's a tuck spot. Another one of those pockets. This one I glued down, though. So you can tuck something in there. It has some stencil paste, and you can put something in there for sure. There. Some of the texture paste had flicked off. There's some hand crocheted lace. This is a tuck spot. That's a tuck spot. And this is from an anthology of poetry. This is from a book of wildflowers. I made this lace paperclip. It has several layers of vintage lace. Some are machine made, some are handmade. And this little locket does open. And I put a little ruffle of sari silk. And it's just attached there with the paper clip. This is a real postcard, and I've used that as a tuck spot. These are This is a fussy cut flower from a book, and these are watercolor swatches. Here's another journaling card. So I used some antique legal paper to make that. This is old too, though. So this is, it says it can be developed by gaslight. So this is printing paper for postcards. And you can tuck under, and it also has a place you can tuck in. And another journaling card. All of them seem to have a little piece of this letter. That's handwriting. It's not stamped or digital. I made this little tuck spot with half of an old envelope and a little fussy cut and a miniature. This is from a Salvation Army band music book. And inside I've made this little notebook. It has a map of the world on it and lots of little papers. Oops. Nope, that's not a tuck spot. But this does open up for journaling. This little envelope is made with some antique book page, a little bit of plastic packaging, and that's a stamp, a genuine stamp from England. This little label here came from a handkerchief. It's a German book. This is the flap from that little envelope, and I've just tacked it on there with an old vintage paper clip. Little journaling card. A book, music book page. The title of that one is Rule Britannia. Little place to journal. Ye Gentlemen of England. This is another journaling card. That's some, I believe this was from 1870, this ledger page. And I just attached this little piece of pressed leaves. I glued the leaves on individually, so hopefully they won't break off. And yeah, so this is the back of an envelope for journaling. Vintage paper clip. Here is a little collage I made. Lots of various types of lace and cheesecloth, and it's a tuck spot. This is another similar, slightly bigger than the other one I just showed you. Oh, 1857. It's older than I thought. And this is a window envelope that I covered in paper and then added some cheesecloth and netting and some fussy cuts from Edith Holden. I think that looks nice like that. Another expense diary, memorandum. This does open up. There we go. Oh. Must have been stuck to a piece of paper. Anyway, that opens up. This place to tuck something. Just put this tea-dyed paper doily there. Some old lace. Another page from the floral book. Another page from the 1860s document, I think. Oh, 1870. This is a piece of stationery. It has these little images. I just pinned that on with an old paper clip. This lace is holding this pocket on, and it has a giant collage tag in it. And play peekaboo with her. Yeah, so if you wanted to put a plain piece of paper there to add journaling writing space, you could. This is a very old paper doily, and this is an ephemera holder. You can make use of all of those pockets, but I've only tucked in this collage journaling card, so it has various authentic papers and a little bit of stenciling. And again, I brought in some of that reddy orange color to match that butterfly. And here we are at the end. So it's a huge journal. I hope that you enjoyed this flip through. If you do, please put in a like. And she will be available for sale in my Etsy shop. Go over and take a look. All right. Take care, everybody. I hope you have a great day. And yeah, we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.